Hey, welcome, it's Cassie. Today I'm going to show you how to make some fake peanut butter cups. So the clay we're going to use today is Crayola air dry clay. And this just allows the definition on the sides of the peanut butter cups, as well as the being able to make the texture of the peanut butter. So we'll start out with the mini one. I'll show you how to form the mini one by hand, and then I have a trick for the regular size one to show you how to get the shape of that one really easily. So just condition your clay and then roll it into a ball, and then we're gonna press it down a little bit so we kind of have a flat bottom and top. And then I'm gonna go around the edge and I'm gonna press in toward the bottom to make it a little bit skinnier along the bottom. And then I'm going to press it again just to get that flat bottom, and then the top is going to get indented a little bit from your finger, which is perfect because that's kind of the shape of the peanut butter cups anyway. So now the next thing we're going to do is take a toothpick and we're going to go around the whole edge and make the lines for the peanut butter cup. And these are pretty close together, so just leave like a small space in between. And don't worry if your clay starts getting a little bit out of shape. It probably will from the pressure. You can fix it up once you're done. So now I'm just going to fix up the shape, and then if I need to go back in and get any of these spots where I touched, then I'll do that. And so when you look at a real peanut butter cup, the lines kind of come up onto the top a little bit. So we're going to now extend those a little bit further. And then just reshape, like the top part probably will be pressed in a little more than you would like it to be. So just press it back out, get it how you want it. Now you can just leave it like this and paint it if you want to. But what I'm gonna do is make a bite out of it. So I have this little flower cutter. I'm gonna try using that and see how that looks, if it looks like teeth marks. Okay, and then we need to make some texture of the peanut butter inside. You know, the peanut butter in these is kind of like, almost like grainy peanut butter. So I'm just gonna take a toothpick and I'm just gonna kind of press in and pull out. And the peanut butter goes pretty far up near the top and the bottom, but there's a little more chocolate on the side here. So leave a little more space there and go almost to the top and almost to the bottom. Okay, so now you'll want to let this dry before you paint it. It just makes it way, way, way easier to paint if you let it dry. So I dried mine overnight, and then it was perfect to paint the next day. So I have one that I've already got ready here. And this one I didn't use that cookie cutter. I just took out a little chunk. So you can see the difference. Like that has two little marks like teeth. This one's a little bit smaller too. So there's the difference with those. So we'll do the peanut butter first. So for the peanut butter, I'm just gonna use classic caramel. So we don't need to mix anything for this one. It's not shiny or anything like that. So just straight from the bottle is good for this one. And I'm gonna use a small paintbrush so that I can get into that little space easily. And as this first coat dries, you'll probably end up getting some white spots that show through, so you'll probably need to do a second coat. And then for the outside chocolate part, I'm going to use melted chocolate, and then I'm going to add 1 little drop of pumpkin orange. And then I want this to be kind of glossy, not super glossy, but I want it to have some gloss to it. So I'm going to add some gloss Mod Podge. So I'm going to do about 1/3 Mod Podge and 2/3 paint. And then just paint the whole thing. Okay, so now we'll move on to the bigger one, the regular size one. I'm going to use a mini muffin tin to make the shape for this one. So I'm going to put a little bit of cornstarch into one of the muffin cups. Now, obviously, don't use this for food after you've used it for fake baking. And then I just put the cornstarch in, and then I shook out the excess. So now I'm going to roll my clay into a ball, and then I'm just going to press it down into here. And you want an amount of clay that's going to fill this up, like probably not even halfway. If you get more than halfway, it's definitely going to be too thick. Now, even with the cornstarch in here, this clay is so like soft that it doesn't like to come out very easily. So I just use a toothpick and get it out of there. And if the side gets a little bit crazy, that's okay. We're going to be adding some texture there anyways. So you can see that's the shape of a peanut butter cup. I'm just fixing up where I used my toothpick there a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing, go around the edge of the peanut butter cup and just make those lines like we did on the other one. And then we're going to do the same thing again and pull those indentations up toward the top more so that they show from the top of the peanut butter cup. And then just press out the edges if it's kind of sunk in from your toothpick. So then you can just paint it like this if you want to, or you can make a little bite out of it like I did on the first one. So we'll just go ahead and make the bite out of it, because that's the most fun. You've got to have the cute peanut butter texture inside. So I'll show you this one I made. So I did this one and I just cut it in half. So that looks pretty cute too if you wanted to display it like that. Or you can do the bite out of it. A heart-shaped cookie cutter also works for this part. So now we'll go in and make the texture again like we did on the mini one. And the same thing, there's a little bit more chocolate along the edge, and then the peanut butter goes almost to the top and almost to the bottom. And then you'll let this one dry again overnight, and then you can paint it. And this is one that I already have painted, and these, I used a heart-shaped cookie cutter, but it's too big, so like these are some big tooth marks. So the same colors, just paint it up. If you wanted to make like a giant peanut butter cup, you could use a regular size muffin tin. Be sure to check out my fake Rice Krispie treats tutorial that I have in my Etsy shop. I'll be adding new tutorials in there over time. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this little simple tutorial, and I will see you in the next video.